2 minutes. Just messing with the settings here, guys. 8 seconds. Yikes. Hello, hello, hello. How you guys doing? There's a little bit of a delay here, so that may be kind of funky, but we're going to give this thing a shot. We're using brand new webinar software, and we are doing a brand new webinar, so thank you for being here. Awesome to see you guys. Hi, Pamela, Tony. I can see some people in the chat. So bear with me because this is brand new software from Webinar Jam, and first time I used it. Probably not the best idea in the world to do a big webinar with 300 people when you're using brand new software, but we're going to give it a shot and we're going to see how it goes. So I'm going to switch over to my screen and jump right in. I don't want to waste any time. I don't want to waste your time. I appreciate you being here. So let's see if we can switch over to our slides, and I'm going to dig right in unless anybody has any questions. You can see the question box on the right hand side here. I can see various attendees coming in. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for being here, guys and gals. So yeah, we're checking out Webinar Jam, new software, and we're doing a brand new webinar. So I'm going to get off camera here and go to my slides, and we are going to plow into this webinar. It's good stuff. I just finished it a couple hours ago, so when I say it's new, it's really new. So let me pull up the screen here and we'll see how this bad boy goes. There may be a little bit of a delay, so that may be a little frustrating, but I'll check back and forth with you and see how it's going. For the time being, I am going to show my screen and I'm going to advance the slides manually. So, welcome again. Thank you for being here. It is 8 p.m. If you're here live, you may be listening to the recording, and we have a brand new webinar for you called How to Create a Video Marketing Plan that Generates Traffic, Leads, and Clients. So, I hope that you are seeing the slides at the same time as I am speaking. Otherwise, it's going to be a little tough to follow, but hopefully that'll work out. So let's see how it goes. Yes, Roz, we are recording this, and in fact, the webinar link is the same as the webinar replay, so that's rather convenient. So let's pop over here and get into the meat of the presentation here. So basically, this is how to succeed with online video. Okay, what are we on the 14th, 15th day of January? So if you've made resolutions, if video was one of them, you still got time, and I want to help you get there. So I would say it's safe to say that we are in a world gone video. It is truly the most powerful marketing tool available at your fingertips today. And you know, a lot of folks think that I'm some kind of technical whiz. I am not technical at all. I know just enough to get myself in trouble. But the main thing is I'm just diving in and using the technology available and seeing how it goes. So to set the tone for this evening's webinar, I want to play a quick little video for you that's going to give you some interesting third-party statistics about video and video marketing. So let's see if that decides to work. Let's play this video for you today. And you know, a lot of folks go with, I am not sorry guys, we don't have All right, that's my little video intro for you guys. I made that with Adobe After Effects, but I didn't make up those statistics. Those are real statistics from real sources. So video is definitely working these days, and it's just a very powerful tool. So that's why we're here. However, the way I look at marketing and video marketing is that video marketing, or any marketing for that matter, is a complete waste of time unless it brings clients to your door and puts money in your bank account. So, you know, I love doing video, but it's not the Red Cross here. We're not a nonprofit organization. So I believe in marketing that brings clients to the door and puts money in your bank account. So we're going to show you how to create a video marketing plan that drives traffic to your website, generates more leads, and gets you more clients. Video creates a really crucial know, like, and trust factor that creates connection and engagement. And that's how you earn trust and get clients. I'm going to let Rocco in, so hold on a second. All right, Rocco. Come on. Come on, Rocco. Rocco the pug wanted to join the party, so he's here. So I'm going to tell you first off why I believe this training is different. And I spent a long time putting this together. As I mentioned, I just finished this webinar or this presentation a couple of hours ago. And the way I like to do these is that this webinar is not a lot of hype. There's no nonsense. There is nothing to buy. There's no upsell. There's no ridiculous claims. And I will even give you a cool freebie at the end. But first I'm going to grab Rocco, who seems to be eating something he shouldn't be eating. Come on, Rocco, give me that. All right, you guys, so here's the other part of this, and I had it all nicely animated, but it doesn't work in the Google Hangout software, so I'm just going to show you the slide, plain and simple. I would say that who this webinar is for is the small business owner who has a real business and is actually making some money, someone who's a little bit established, or you're serious and committed about your business, and you're willing to get outside your comfort zone. This webinar is not for somebody who's looking for a quick fix or a quick buck, folks who play the blame game, it's always somebody else's fault, or if you're not ready to do the work that it takes to have a successful business, or perhaps, and I don't mean this as a swipe, you know, at all, a lot of businesses start this way. If your business is a hobby, basically, if your business isn't making money, it's an expensive hobby. And I'm starting to sound like Debbie Downer here, but we don't want Debbie Downers wah, wah, on this webinar. Sound effect provided by yours truly. So that's who this is for and who this is not for. Now, why should you take my word for it? Why should you learn this video stuff from me? Rocco agrees. Well, as some of you know, I spent over 20 years in the television business in Los Angeles. I am a marketing and branding professional. That's what I did my entire career. Long-time video guy. Basically, that just means before YouTube. Sorry, Rocco's wreaking havoc during my webinar. And I have worked with a lot of the online marketing gurus. I'm a certified Book Yourself Solid coach. That's me and Michael Port, the author of Book Yourself Solid, in that funny little picture. And I try my best to make all of this video, intimidating video stuff, very fun and easy. So what are we going to cover in the next 45 minutes or so? As I mentioned in the webinar promos, I'm going to share with you the 3 biggest video mistakes that people make and how to avoid those pitfalls. And we're going to talk about how to increase your visibility and credibility with video, because that's what ultimately leads to you getting more leads and more clients. I want to talk a little bit about what's missing from most video strategies, because a lot of folks do bits and pieces, but I want to talk about what's missing. Hold on a second. Let me break up the dog. Sophie, yeah? Come and get Bailey and bring her away. Thank you. All right, thank you. So, and we're also going to talk about how to put together a solid video marketing plan. Shut the door, please. Thank you. And we're going to go over the 6 steps to online video success. And that's what we're going to cover. Now, I want to make a note about, first of all, a lot of things are working against us here. Doing a webinar at 8 p.m. means you have the family and the dogs around. So they participate in the webinar. And I apologize for the disruption, but that's just the way it is at our house. So let's talk about getting more clients, because at the end of the day, if you're in business, you need clients. And good clients come from good leads. Good leads, I believe, come from connecting with your prospects. Connecting. You're going to hear that word a lot this evening. And the best way to connect is with video. So if you want good clients, you've got to get good qualified leads. If you want good qualified leads, you need to connect and engage with them so they know, like, and trust you. And that's how you get quality leads. And I find that the absolute best way to establish that know, like, and trust is with video. So that's why we're here. That's what we're doing. Now let's talk a little bit about the challenge of having an online business in the current crowded environment. And I think it can all be summed up in this one photo. The problem, I believe, and I'm not alone, is that there's just a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of clutter, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of email, there's a lot of messages coming at us, there's a lot of distractions. And we are in a huge battle for attention, the attention of our prospects, our colleagues, and the folks who help us stay in business. Now, some of these challenges include that it's really hard to get your message heard these days, and let alone acted upon. Now, again, I'll use this webinar as an example. I really had to promote this in order to get 400 people signed up. It wasn't just send out an email and that's that. It's really hard to get your messages heard. There's really more competition than ever for attention online. I mean, at any given time, I can be attending 5 different webinars. We're just drowning in too much information. There's not a lot of engagement or connection with prospects. It's like people are hitting us over the head with 2x4s, but that is not necessarily making a connection. And obviously, if you're in business, you need more clients and more cash flow. It all kind of comes back to that. And I know for a lot of folks, especially when it comes to marketing, you probably don't know where to begin, particularly with video marketing, because it can be a bit intimidating. So, you remember the Ferris Bueller? Anyone? Bueller? Well, sometimes it feels like that with online marketing, and sometimes it seems like no one cares. And the only people watching our videos, will you take him downstairs, please? Thank you. Rocco, you're wreaking havoc. Why do I feel that sometimes it seems like you're the only one out there and nobody cares? The emails don't get opened, your classes don't get filled, your products don't get sold to the extent that you would like them to. And I think it's safe to say, having spent 25 years in traditional marketing, that traditional marketing is dead. Long live video marketing. Da, da, da. So the other little problem, is that the one thing that does work, most people are either afraid of or they simply don't know how to do. And of course, I'm talking about video. video marketing. And one of the quotes that I throw out there quite a bit is, if you're not doing video marketing, you're not doing marketing these days. So, and I believe it was Albert Einstein who once said, if nobody knows you, nobody can buy from you. And you know what? Albert Einstein didn't say that. I said it. I'm just messing with you. But I had this graphic that I wanted to use, and anyway. But it's true. If nobody knows you, nobody can buy from you. You need to be known. You need to be seen to get sales. So the good news is that video really does change the game. And if you've tried blogging and article marketing and social media and email marketing and Facebook ads and who knows what else, when all else fails, you can jumpstart your results and make a quantum leap by using online video. It really does work like gangbusters when you do it right, because it gives you more visibility, which leads to more leads, which leads to more clients. And again, we're talking about building a relationship with your prospects through video. I'm not talking about cameras right now. I'm not talking about, YouTube and any of that other technical stuff. I'm really talking about relationship marketing, and video is just a fantastic way to do that. So before we get to the real meat and potatoes of how to put a plan together for yourself, I want to show you a couple of fairly well-known video success stories, just to drive home the point that it's about engagement, and it's about the know, like, and trust factor that you have through video. So before I forget, I want to tell a quick little story, speaking of video. Now, when I started, again, I was not at all known online. I didn't particularly like being on camera. Nobody knew me. I was just starting out. I didn't know this whole online world. And I started doing these goofy videos, dressed up in costumes. And the main reason was I didn't want to be on camera, so I was hiding behind props and kids and animals. And I had this goofy little YouTube series called LuTube. And I recall one time, it really blew me away, because I went to a conference in Philadelphia. And I walked into, it was kind of like a networking event kind of thing. And there were a handful of people at a table, and they're like, hey, it's the LuTube guy. And I'm like, what? They've seen this? And somebody else said to me, I feel like I already know you. And those are pretty sweet words for somebody that you've never met, because that means that you've already developed a relationship and already started to earn that trust simply based on the fact that they've seen you on video. And the same is true in an even greater way with the folks that I'm going to show you here. Now, you may recognize this guy, Gary Vaynerchuk. He's got a new book out right now. Really great sort of success story. He's very passionate about wine. His family owns a wine business, and he started this little web TV show called Wine Library TV. And as you can kind of see by the picture here, we're not talking about an elaborate set or a lot of fancy makeup and wardrobe. I mean, this thing was really, relatively low production value. However, he talked about what he was passionate about, and he made a connection. So how'd that work out for Gary V? Well, his videos have 1.7 million views. Despite the low production values and that awesome thank you blackboard that he has there, he's now a best-selling author with 3 books to his credit, and at last check his net worth was $10 million. So Gary V has done all right for himself, and I think anyone you talk to will agree that it was video that put him on the map. Another success story on a more sort of corporate side is Blend Tech, who did a fun little web show called Will It Blend? And these were pretty short videos. You can see down at the bottom here, this one's a minute 47. And basically, he'd put all this crazy stuff into their, turbocharged blenders to see if it would blend. Kind of goofy, kind of fun. And how did that work out for Blend Tech? Well, Will It Blend has 2 billion, with a B, views on YouTube. It was an instant viral hit. It's gotten them national TV exposure on everything from Ellen to The Tonight Show. And most important for our friends at Blendtec, their retail sales increased by 700%. So now again, you may not have a blender and may not be putting iPhones and skis in a blender, but you can be creative and do what you can do. Last example here is another woman from Massachusetts, a young lady called Michelle Phan, and she does makeup tutorials on YouTube. And this one was what? Angelina Jolie makeup tutorial. So how to do your makeup to look like Angelina Jolie, or how to do this, or how to do that. All makeup tips with this young 25-year-old who just did these little informal videos on YouTube. Well, Michelle, she'd do a bunch of videos. Here at the time I took the screenshot, it was 224 videos. Now she has over 500 million views and 2 million YouTube subscribers. She has a net worth of $3 million at the tender age of 25, and she was recently hired as a spokesperson for Lancome Cosmetics. So Michelle and YouTube did okay doing video. So again, some of these are kind of rags to riches video stories, and we may not have that particular level of success, but we can certainly kick some ass with video on our own. Oh, and there's, last but not least, little old me. There's my new website that just launched last night. And then again, as I may have mentioned, I came into this with no list and no visibility, completely unknown, very introverted and shy, despite what some people may tell you. And I really don't like being on camera. I spent my entire career on the other side of the camera, not in front of the camera, and I don't want to be on camera, but you do what you got to do. And I did it anyway, and I focused on video marketing. That's what I knew. That's what I wanted to do. And it worked out pretty well. I came up with a plan, and it led to visibility, credibility, and profitability. And now I'm a little bit more known, and I still don't like being on camera, but I do it anyway. And again, it just shows you that you can start anywhere, start where you're at, and this can really do wonders for you. And last but not least, having done all that, I have managed to get some wonderful, wonderful high-profile clients, some of the names and faces you may recognize. And I'm blessed to work with these folks and many others who you will hear about soon. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So again, the point here is that this stuff really works. It works wonders. It is amazing. It has afforded me the ability to travel and spend time with my kids, because you don't get that back, just like they say. So there we are in Italy and Costa Rica and all that fun stuff. So again, I've been fortunate because video is sort of doing a lot of the work when I don't have to. So even if I'm off traveling, somebody can be watching one of my webinars or buying products or watching videos on YouTube. So that's another side benefit from video marketing. So now it's your turn. You've seen some success stories. You've seen, again, that this is really about relationships and not about equipment. And now it's your turn. But first, before we do that, before I forget, I want to give you the 3 mistakes that I mentioned at the opening, the 3 traps. And these 3 pitfalls, coincidentally, all begin with P. And they are, some of these may sound familiar to some of you: procrastination, planning, and pieces, as in missing pieces. So I'll talk a little bit about each of these, but again, the 3 big mistakes that I see with clients and friends and colleagues over and over and over again is procrastination, planning or lack thereof, and missing pieces. Let me give you a little bit more details on these 3 Ps, on the common pitfalls. And the first one really is just waiting too long to start with video. Everybody wants to be perfect. Everybody wants to look great. Everybody wants to have the greatest viral video in the world as their first video, and that just doesn't happen. You just need to start where you are and don't put it off, because the longer you put it off, the longer it's going to be that people don't know, like, and trust you like they can. So procrastination is really fatal. You just got to get up and do it. I didn't want to be on camera, so I put on goofy costumes and did my YouTube spiel. Now again, I'm delving into these webinars and Google Hangouts, and it's maybe not the most it's maybe not my favorite way to do stuff, but I'm going to give it a shot because you just can't wait. You got to do it. The second one is basically planning or not having a strategy. And I know this to be true because a lot of folks say, I need to do video. And I ask, why do you need to do a video? I don't know. Everybody else is doing it. Don't I have to have a video on my homepage? Yes, but what do you want that video to accomplish? You really do need to have a plan, and you need to think it out. And lastly, and this is a biggie, is only doing one piece of the puzzle. And the reason I talk about the total video solution is that a lot of folks are focusing on a specific little piece of the puzzle. Maybe they're hung up on microphones or lighting, or maybe they are doing YouTube and trying to get more proficient in that, and that's all fine. Or maybe they're focusing on doing videos with the iPhone. That's great, but those are all just pieces of the overall bigger puzzle, the overall bigger vision. And that is really a bad one because you can get so obsessed with YouTube or SEO or one piece that you're not looking at the big picture. So that is a common mistake. Somebody gets all hung up and they just never get out of that rut because they're too hung up on the equipment or on doing it just right with YouTube. So you need to do the whole thing. You need to have more than just one piece. And that's what I think is missing in a lot of people's video strategies or video plans, is really the big picture, the overall vision for video. And what you really should be thinking about is not that I need to do it because everybody else is doing it, or I need to come up in the search engines. You need to do it because you need to think about how video can support your goals. So don't get hung up on one piece. Don't get hung up on just the techie stuff or just YouTube, or don't be obsessed with looking like a pro. Just try and look at the big picture. Now it's funny because I know, like for instance, there are video. A lot of folks talk about video SEO, and people are really tend to get a little hung up on that. Now SEO is great, and don't take me wrong. I would love to come up high in the search engines, but search engine optimization and video helps your SEO, but that helps you get found. That doesn't help you get known. That doesn't help you get trusted. That doesn't help you build that relationship or that connection so that people will say, I feel like I already know you. Just because you come up in the search engines doesn't mean somebody feels like they already know you. So, all right, I'll get off my soapbox now. So let's talk about planning and solutions. I'm also going to take a quick peek here at the chat and see what's cooking over there. Ooh, we got all kinds of stuff on the chat. That's awesome. I am going to come back and look at that at the end and maybe answer some questions. And I left the chat on so that you guys can do that. And yes, you guys can go full screen. I'm showing full screen on my end, so you guys got to do the full screen part on your end. I'm just looking at a couple of the comments here. And Pamela, I can't not show the things that this. I tried that earlier. Here's what happens. When I go to play my slide presentation here, if I do that, the slides will disappear and I will come back on screen. And you guys don't want to see that. You want to see my slides. So all this beautiful animation and stuff that I had for you guys, I now can't really show you because I'm just going through the slides one by one here. So bear with me. It's not perfect, but I'm trying to focus on the content here and not let the technology distract us too much. So, all right, so we're talking solutions now. The plan, that's what we're here for. So, I'm going to show you here, and again, I'll send you copies of the PDF of the slides if you prefer, if you like. But the 6 steps for a video marketing plan are your foundation, and I'll go into these in a little bit more detail in a moment. Rocco, by the way, I see some messages on the side here about Rocco because he was fighting with Bailey, our other dog, and he had to go into a little timeout. So Rocco went upstairs, Rocco's downstairs. So again, Maybe Rocker will make an appearance later on. So number one, your foundation. Number two is your messaging. Number three is your visibility. Number four, my favorite, your content, and this is where we monetize and make money from our skills and assets and content. Number five is your client attraction plan. And number six is your 90-day plan. I would be willing to bet that most folks, myself included, don't have a 90-day plan for their marketing and video. Actually, I have it for marketing, but I haven't figured out the entire video thing yet for the complete 90 days. So that's the 6 steps. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on each one of these so that I can show you here. Let's see now. Oops. How do I get past here? Hold on a second. Bear with me for a moment. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Looks cool. All right. So let's go into the first step here. Foundation. What you want to do with the first step here is basically, this is the basics, the nuts and bolts. Start with your vision for video and how it can help you accomplish your specific business objectives. Then you can look at the basics of YouTube and Google Hangouts. So the foundation includes things like your branding. It includes things like your target market. It includes your marketing goals, your strengths and opportunities. We'll talk more about that, but you want to think about taking advantage of opportunities and playing to your strengths. So let me go down to the next slides here. Why is this not cooperating? I don't know. Hang on, guys. Let me go over to the webcast here just to see how we're doing here. Uh-oh. Did anybody else lose audio? Well, we'll come back and see how it's going here. Can you guys hear me? Please just put a quick little something or other in the chat box so that I'll know that my audio is back. All right, cool. Thanks, Pamela. All right, so we are forging ahead with our technical difficulties and all. I'm going to go this way so that I can see all the slides here. And we'll talk about foundation. The second thing we're talking about here is messaging. Second part of a video marketing plan is messaging. Figure out your key message, what you want to be known for, and determine the best delivery method, the best video delivery method to get your message out. And again, you want to have a clear, compelling message. You want to think about the best platform for that message. And what I mean by that is that can be on camera, but it can also be off camera. You have to play to your strengths. Do you like doing Google Hangouts, which are kind of like webinars like this? Or would you prefer to do a video tips series on YouTube? Do you want to do photo montages that are off camera or webinars that are a combination? So all of those things you need to consider in terms of your messaging. The next thing we're going to look at here is, if I can get the slides, don't seem to want to cooperate at the moment, but we will take care of that. We'll work around it. So bear with me here. Now we are going on to, this is my new website. So I'm talking about messaging. I'm trying to, simplify my message here, and what my message is really is, if you can create video, you can get more visibility and more sales. So this is my screenshot of my new website that launched last night. So in terms of my messaging, I'm trying to, again, practice what I preach, and I have video front and center here on my site. And next on the hit parade, we have visibility. Now this is a big one. We talked a little bit about the I feel like I already know you effect, and that's what you want to strive for, because you have to get seen to get sales. And you can use video to dramatically increase your visibility and spread your message quickly and effectively. It really is the fastest way to build visibility and credibility. And again, what we're trying to do here with this video plan, you notice we're not talking about, you know, lights and what camera to use and is this microphone better than that microphone. We're talking about making a connection and building relationships with our prospects through video so that we will get quality leads that turn into quality clients. So that's what, again, a great lead is somebody who knows, likes, and trusts you and probably becomes a customer or client. So when we talk about visibility, we're talking about using social video, and that's basically just a combination of video and social media, making sure that you get your video on Facebook and on LinkedIn and on Pinterest. You want to maximize your distribution because the truth is once the video is done, it's pretty easy to spread it around. I mean, even on YouTube, you can send it from YouTube to Facebook and LinkedIn and Pinterest and Google+. If you do a Google Hangout like this, it's going to go right to YouTube and right to Google+. So again, you're getting beyond just YouTube. You're getting a bigger bang for your buck. So think beyond YouTube and find your favorite social media outlets. Figure out where do your prospects hang out and use those platforms for your video distribution to get more visibility. That may be Instagram, which allows 15-second videos. It may be Facebook, which is my personal favorite. It may be Vine, which allows 6-second videos. Google+, Google Hangouts like this. Again, the more you can get yourself out there and establish that connection, the more you will get the I feel like I already know you effect. And that is a beautiful thing indeed. Okay, so let's move on to number 4 here. Let me just pop over here, and I hate to have to navigate the slides this way, but it's just what it is. It is what it is. You roll with it. So the platforms, again, think about where do your prospects hang out? Where do your potential clients hang out? If you're corporate, maybe it's LinkedIn. If you're a mompreneur, it could be Pinterest. SlideShare is a great place to share videos for you know, TED kind of videos, TED Talks. Facebook, Instagram. Again, there are so many platforms that you can use, and it is very easy to share to these platforms once your video is created. So a big part of the plan and a big part of the visibility strategy is getting your video out there in as many places as possible. So those are our platforms, or just a few of the platforms that we could use. Let's move on now. I'll show you one other thing because it's an interesting tool here. Other ways to engage with video. Spreecast. Check out Spreecast.com. This is pretty cool. My friend and mentor Michael Port uses it quite a bit, and we did one when I was at his place not long ago. He does them every Monday, I think. And again, it's basically like a Google Hangout with a few different bells and whistles. And some people just like the interface and the way it works. And you know, it's free. It's pretty easy to use and set up. So Spreecast, another way to connect and engage with your people. TouchCast, really cool. I'll show you a screenshot in a moment, but that's a really cool new app that basically turns your mobile device, your iPad or your iPhone, into a mini TV studio. Very, very cool. TouchCast.com. I mentioned Vine earlier, where you can do 6-second videos. iJot.com is great for video email. And in addition to Google Hangouts, there's something else called Google Helpouts, which are basically how-to videos that you can do for folks who may need a particular problem solved. So these are just a few of the other ways to engage with your folks as you create your video marketing plan. Now, you don't have to run out and do all of these. You couldn't possibly do all of them anyway. So, you know, you may decide, like Michael, that Spreecast is a really cool tool to do your video series, or you may decide that video email is a great way to break through and you use iJot.com. You don't have to use all the tools. Just create a plan and find the best tools for you to use. Let me show you a screenshot of TouchCast here. As they say here, and it really is, I've used this, a TV studio in your hands or on your desk. They do have a desktop as well. And the main thing with TouchCast is that you can put interactive elements on the screen. A map, a video, a Twitter feed, a whiteboard. So all kinds of cool things that you can put on your video on the fly. So if you have a brick and mortar business and you're doing a video and you want to give somebody specific directions, you can actually put a clickable Google Maps link into TouchCast, and it will be clickable when the person watches it. So it's really cool. Check it out, touchcast.com. Again, free to use, and another way for you to go crazy and play and have some fun. And don't get too distracted by the bells and whistles. Again, the reason that we're doing this is engagement and building a relationship. So let us proceed here. We're getting close to the end, and our time is good so far. I will try and get to some questions, but I want to come back to the fourth part of our six-step video planning, and that is content. And content is a huge piece and a big milestone for your video marketing planning. So at this point, you want to develop your signature product and use video to market and promote it. And you should also create video products, not just video to promote the products, but the video is the product, because they are the most likely to sell and be consumed. People love video courses, webinars, anything that can be consumed in small chunks. There's an entire site devoted to that called Udemy.com, where you can put up your courses in little 10-15 minute increments. So use video as the product itself. Use video to promote your products. You can also do video webinars like this one, or workshops, and look at the assets and the content and the all the good stuff that you have, and see how it can be repurposed for video. And again, this is where we monetize, and it's really important, especially for businesses just starting out, to get a product out there and start to monetize. And this has to be part of the plan, really. It's just shouldn't be an afterthought, because you can do all the little videos on Facebook that you want, but if you're not ultimately selling someone and getting some clients in the door, then it's not going to work long term. So content is king and continues to be king. Let's move on here. I'll show you a quick shot in terms of content, because as I say, content equals cash. This is my basically what I call my solutions page, but it's ultimately classes and workshops. Now all of these started either as an article or an ebook or maybe a small webinar, and I basically eventually repurposed them, like Video Marketing Fast Path to Cash was a live workshop. Now of course when the live workshop's done, it's all recorded and it becomes a product. Same thing with Video Marketing Bootcamp, Video in a Day. All these were classes before they were standalone products. And here is Rocco the Pug. That's probably as close as we'll get to see him tonight, since he has gone downstairs to cause more trouble down there. So, but yeah, Rocco makes an appearance one way or the other. Number 5 is client attraction. And again, this is where we use video to really engage and connect with your prospects and clients. A compelling videos will attract those who you are meant to serve. Now, not everybody's going to like my wacky videos, and if people are offended by the fact that I did the 10 Commandments dressed as Moses, then maybe those people are not my ideal clients. But again, it's all about engagement, and you can use video outreach like people have been using outreach and networking for years in marketing, and you can put video in front of that and basically make it that much more effective. So everybody sends emails, but not everybody sends video emails, and they are very compelling and they are very engaging and they get attention. So when I really want to break through and I really want to reach somebody, I pop over to vsnap.com or mailview.com and send a video email. Now, I am not talking about an email blast here. I'm talking about making individual connections, and again, building those relationships through video outreach. So again, check out vsnap.com, a free tool to create video email messages, or mailview.com, mailvu.com, and those are some great tools for client attraction. All right, let's keep zipping along here. Hey, I have an idea. If I skip to a later slide, I wonder if it will show me the later slides in the sidebar. Let's take a look. We're wrapping up here. So, all right, cool. So we talked client attraction, and here is a shot of mailview.com. So my friend Kellyanne, I sent her an email after I had talked to her. Again, just to reach out more personally than email. So I used mailview.com, and for free, this is what shows up in her email box, the little picture of me with my eyes closed, because invariably they always take you with your eyes closed. But if you click that button, she's going to hear my video email message. And believe me, it's much more attention-getting and compelling than just another email. So I strongly encourage you to make Vmail part of your video marketing plan and part of your video marketing outreach. All right, last but not least, the 90-day plan, step number 6. So finally, here's where we plot out our strategy in 90-day increments. Now, if you have a plan, even a simple video strategy takes the overwhelm out of the process so that you can focus on the right goals, not get distracted, and not get hung up on minutia. Some folks want to bring this to the level where they create a video editorial calendar, and that's great. Start with your bigger vision. What do you want to accomplish over the next quarter or the next 90 days or the next even 2 or 3 weeks? So start with 90 days, chunk it down by month, and then create a process that works for you to be able to crank out that content. So I look at my video editorial calendar by looking at my marketing calendar. I have a full year calendar up here, and I can see that, today I'm doing this webinar, and then in 2 or 3 weeks I've got another webinar, and then next month I'm doing a joint promotion with some other folks. So I know what I'm going to need to be doing. I know what my priorities are for the next 90 days, and I make video part of that plan. So if I say, okay, I want to get 6 new coaching clients or 3 new coaching clients, I make video part of that plan. I do my video networking and my video outreach, and it's just all comes together nicely. And again, when you have a plan, it starts to take the overwhelm out of it because you've got a big picture to go by. So really the last step is just kind of committing to this plan and putting it in writing, whether you use a video editorial calendar or a notebook or whatever you want to use, whatever your process is. So let's take a quick look again at those 6 steps that we talked about for a successful video marketing plan. Your foundation, your messaging, your visibility, your content, and the monetization part, your client attraction plan, and finally your 90-day plan. Now let's sort of come full circle here. Why are we doing all this? How does this help you? Well, if you have a video marketing strategy and if you are using video, you will attract more of your ideal clients because you'll be using compelling and magnetic videos. Believe me, nothing happened for me until I started doing those videos, and that's when I realized that this is a wonderful way to reach your prospects. You'll have greater visibility and a much higher online profile. Remember, if nobody knows you, nobody can buy from you. You want people to know, like, and trust you. with video. This helps you by helping you attain more credibility and helping you become known as the go-to person in your niche. You'll create a much deeper connection to your prospects and clients through these video engagement strategies that we have been talking about. And best of all, you'll generate more revenue with less effort because you'll be leveraging your marketing efforts with video, which is kind of like having a 24/7 salesperson. And I don't know about you, but I like waking up to PayPal messages that say I got money while I was sleeping. It's a beautiful thing. And ultimately, you'll be able to enjoy more freedom and flexibility since your videos will be doing so much of the work for you. So again, the secret weapon here really is video, is creating relationships and connections through video. That's going to build your know, like, and trust. It's going to give you better leads who will turn into better clients. Because if anybody can get leads. I mean, I can buy leads or I can do Google ads or whatever, but you need leads who are going to become your ideal clients. And you do that with relationship marketing, and the tool of choice that we're talking about is video. So let's wrap things up here before we get to questions. Let me just see what I've got left here. Okay, so I also wanted to give you a few other tidbits here to jumpstart your video efforts. Sorry, my Boston accent came out. Choose your favorite video platform. Now again, I'm talking about delivery and format. So that may be a tips series on YouTube. It may be video webinars. It may be Google Hangouts, or it may be something else. And some of you guys are probably thinking, what the hell is an Ask Diff blah, 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 blah offer? This is another principle from Michael Port and Book Yourself Solid, and it's called the Always Have Something to Invite People to offer. That's what that stands for. Always have something to invite people to offer. Excuse me. What that means is every Monday Michael Port goes on Spreecast and does his Think Big Revolution videocast, podcast, whatever you call it. It's free. Anybody can check it out. And that is something that he can always have something to invite people to engage with him and get to know, like, and trust him. I do Lose Labs most Fridays, which is a half-hour webinar where I share tips and tools and resources and things like that, and share software and things like this Webinar Jam and things like that. That's my Always Have Something to Invite People to offer. So I would recommend that you find something like that. If it's video, it's that much more powerful because, again, you're connecting with people on a personal level. So my Lose Labs are not on-camera videos, but they are video in terms of being video webinars, and I show slides like this. Other people do Google Hangouts. Michael does Spreecast where he's on camera. So it's really powerful and just a great way, again, to make that connection. So that's a way to jumpstart your video efforts. And let me pop over here for a second. Oh, one other thing, of course. What do we want here? How to build a plan. So creating your plan. See, I've got my little nurturing seedling plant over there. Start with your marketing and promotion plan. So you probably have a sense of your marketing priorities for the year. Add video initiatives where appropriate. Again, if you're doing email, maybe you want to do video email. If you're doing a product, maybe you want to do a video product. Create a video editorial calendar for your content. Maybe you have theme months. Maybe you just have, you know that you're going to be doing a big push or initiative and you know you want to get some videos on the calendar. Start with just 90 days. It's not that difficult. And then be sure to separate your marketing activities from your monetization activities in creating a video plan. So, and what I mean by that is that if you're spending a lot of time marketing, you may not be monetizing. So there are times when I need to do marketing pushes, and there are other times when I need to do monetization activities. And if that's all on your calendar, you'll know, you'll leave enough time to promote what you need to promote so that you can monetize. So you can put together your own video plan, or again, you can just talk to me if you want, if you don't want to try and pull all this together. So what I want to, again, there is nothing to buy here, but, and I do this a few times a year, I will talk with folks who want to talk about this stuff and see if this will work with them. So I'm going to go back to the slides here and see what we have. Let me just say first, will this 6-step system to get you more clients work for your specific situation in your business? Well, you can apply for a free video strategy session with me to work on your video strategy to see how it applies to your business. So you can talk with me and look at your business. I mean, I have no idea until we talk about your business how well this will work for you. I know for most of my clients, it's a slam dunk. Now, I take these pretty seriously. I charge about $300 an hour for consulting, so I'm not just doing this as a gimmick, or I find it hugely helpful to talk to folks, see what people are up against, see what they're working on, and I encourage you to fill out the application and talk to me for a few minutes and see if any of this resonates with you and works for you. Again, this is free, no obligation, no strings attached. Go to loubortone.com/session. Now I want to try something fun here for 2 seconds before we get to questions. There is a feature within Webinar Jam that allows you to make offers during your presentation. So I'm going to display, it's not really an offer because it's free, but I'm going to display it, and you should be able to see on the right-hand side, talk to Lou, apply for a free strategy session, apply now, blah, 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 check it out. And if you click that link, I'm kind of afraid to click the link, but if you click the link, you will, where will you go? You will go to this application. So that's it. This is a cool little feature of Webinar Jam that you can sort of make offers, and sometimes it's easier than copying down a link. But again, check that out if you want. And let's see, we're going to wrap it up here because we're getting close to the top of the hour. I just want to run through the details of the session. So you can book a free, no strings attached video marketing strategy session. I can't remember who made this up, probably Nancy Mamalejo, the godfather of video himself. I didn't make that up for me, somebody else did. But anyway, I have no problem with it, really. So loubortone.com/session, and don't worry, nobody's going to have your knees broken if you don't do it, but it is an opportunity to chat with me informally and briefly to find out, what's the best direction for you to take in terms of video marketing. So check it out, loubortone.com/session. As I mentioned, there are no strings attached. However, we had like about 400 people registered for this call. I'm certainly not able to talk to that many folks. So if you're interested, act quickly, complete the application. I will limit obviously the time and the availability that I have to do this. I'll probably do them next week. And if you're interested, just go to loubortone.com/session. No strings attached. I don't bite. Again, nothing to buy here. Just an opportunity to speak with you about your video marketing potential. All right, guys, I got a few more quick little slides for you that are fun here. There's my magic fun bus. Hop aboard. You can click the little thingy on the side, which we're playing with our Webinar Jam software, or you can just write down that loubortone.com/session and check it out afterwards. So let me pop over to the last slide, and then I will see if there are any questions. Ooh, that's another nice video slide. So we got new software tonight, we got new slideshow, we got new webinar, all new content. So hopefully this has been helpful for you. You guys know how to reach me. If you need to, I'm going to take a look now at the chat box to see how we're doing on questions. Okay. Let me answer a few questions here while we're here, if you guys don't mind, if that's cool. Um, okay, so Pamela, because we're doing the Webinar Jam software, it's kind of like two webinars at once because I'm demoing Webinar Jam. They have a feature here on the right, again, where you can pop in an offer. Um, and you can create an offer on the fly, or you can do it ahead of time. So what you're seeing there on the right-hand side is just the link to my free session that I put in there ahead of time. But you could sell an ebook or a course, or it almost turns this into a mini sales page. So hopefully that helped. It was pre-scheduled, or you can do it on the fly. All right, cool. So thank you, Pamela. Leonie says it works. Awesome. Hi, Roz. No, Roz is wondering if the videos all have to be talking head, or could some of them be site tours and tutorials. Talking head videos are not my favorite videos, so I tend to hide behind my slides and my photos and all that kind of stuff. Pamela's asking, would Marie Forleo's weekly video newsletter be considered and always have something to invite people to? Yes and no. I mean, it's great because it exposes her every week to her folks. I mean, she gets like 50,000 views on those videos. So, but in terms of it being truly interactive, it's not live. So I think it's always best if those are live. But certainly it's working for her. The email program, Andy, there were two of them. One was called MailView, M-A-I-L-V-U, and the other one was called iJot, E-Y-E-J-O-T. What program do I use for editing video? Oh, you don't want to know. I use Final Cut Pro on a Mac and Adobe After Effects. So that little video you saw at the top was Adobe After Effects. Is there free video editing software? Yes, and in fact, probably the easiest place to get it is YouTube. YouTube has a free video editor. So that's a great way to do little edits and clean up your videos. Let's see now. So Pamela says she's assuming from what I'm saying that the always have something to invite people to is always free. Yes, that's the idea is that it is a low barrier to entry product. You give people no excuse not to attend because it doesn't cost anything. It's consistent. You try and do it every week, and ideally, yes, it's something free that you can always give to somebody. So if you run into somebody at a networking event, you can say to them, why don't you come to my Think Big Revolution podcast, or why don't you come to my Lose Labs on Friday? This is great, this Webinar Jam thing. I can see all the questions on the right here. Vmail is free. Yeah, they have both free and paid. I use the free version of mailview.com, and it works just fine. A lot of Rocco comments here. Rocco has left the building. Yes, Denise. Perhaps he'll be back. Jeff says content equals cash. Amen to that. Yep. It's interesting. The times when I was starting out and I wasn't struggling, and I was getting visibility, and I was getting invited to teleseminars, and I said, geez, I wonder why I'm not making as much money as I should be. And then I realized that I didn't have a lot of content and a lot of products. If you don't make offers, you're not going to make money because you got to, have content. Shoot, Leonie, I don't know the name of the site. I'll have to go back and look because I'm not sure which one you're referring to. Suggestions for video products. Okay, I showed you a few of them. When I did the video marketing boot camp, it was a 6-week, once a week class for 1 hour, and I taught like this with a webinar. So basically it was 6 PowerPoints, essentially. That's one kind of video. You could do one webinar and sell that as a video product. You could do a series of video tips and put them on Udemy as a video product in whatever your expertise is. So let me go through a couple more questions. I know we're at the top of the hour here, but I just want to give you an opportunity to ask your questions if you like here. Oops, shoot, I think I just nuked my screen. Hold on, guys. Let me see if I can get it back. Sorry about that. Alrighty, share screen. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. Okay, so remind me not to touch that button again. Okay. There's my screen. You can see that. And now we're going to just pop over to the slides and make sure that we got through everything here. And then I'll go back to the questions. All right. Oh, yeah, that's where we are. We're in questions. So that's cool. There's Rocco again. Rocco the Pug is in the photo. And I am going to take a look at the questions here and see if I missed anything. Thank you, Pamela. Jackie, I am going to call you tomorrow about that audio issue. All right, cool. Yes, I am using, right now I am using my Blue Snowball mic. It was about $60. That's what I have hooked up to my computer to do the audio. All right, you guys can say, you can see in here. Hi, Kathy. Kathy T. Frank, I'm going to, when I put the replay up, I'm going to see if I can do a link to the slides so that you guys can get the slides if you want, a PDF of the slides. And what I'm using to create these slides was I simply used Keynote, which is just like PowerPoint, but Keynote for the Mac. And I just got a theme, which was awesome because it had lots of like cool new colors and stuff like that. So I'm just using a Keynote theme and doing my slides in Keynote. Okay, cool. All right, the rest of the questions I think are more about Webinar Jam and technical, so we'll save that for another time. So here's the deal with Webinar Jam. There's no limit to the amount of people that you can have on there, which is good because I have a love-hate relationship with GoToWebinar, and you're limited to like 100 people unless you buy a bigger plan. So that's why it's interesting to be able to do things like this, like with Webinar Jam, because they're using the Google Hangout software, and for that reason there's no limit to the amount of attendees that you can have. And again, it's got, you know, it has sort of that interactive, you can have your little notes on the side there. I could do little instant polls if I wanted to. I could pop in different offers. So far I'm pretty impressed with this Webinar Jam thing, and we'll see if the replay works out okay, and I will send you a link to the slides. And again, do please take me up on that offer to do the free session. I only do it a few times a year, and I'd love to chat with you. And if hopefully I can help some of this all make sense for you. You know, this stuff, this is really, you know, the year to do it. If you haven't done it before, if you haven't done it to the extent that you wanted to, this video stuff is really powerful. It is not going away. It is the way of the future, and the sooner you, you know, lead, follow, or get out of the way, I always say. So, so let me help you, you know, point you in the right direction and show you how to take advantage of it and what might be the right step for you to take with video. So check it out. You know, go to the bortone.com/session or hit that little yellow button on the right, and you'll be taken to the application. And again, the applications, it's, you know, it's fairly detailed because I want to be able to, you know, give you some real info on the call. I don't want to just fluff through it. Sharon's asking, are you using Mac for Google Hangouts and Webinar Jam? Yeah, I'm on a Mac, but it works on a Mac or a PC. So what I did was I clicked my Webinar Jam link that Webinar Jam gave me, and it opened up Google Hangouts, but with the Webinar Jam interactivity. You can't do that check it out, buy thing, pop in on Google Hangouts, as far as I know. That's part of the Webinar Jam. Webinars on Air. Leonie says she's aware of webinarsonair.com that also uses Google Hangouts, and I know there are several coming out. So this just happens to be the one that we're working with tonight. And David says it worked just as well as GoToWebinar. So I may be done with GoToWebinar if this thing works. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Again, I hope you'll take Rocco and I up on our offer for a free chat at loubortone.com/session. Would love to chat with you. I will talk with you guys again soon. No Lose Labs this week because I'm heading to Philadelphia tomorrow to work with Michael Port again. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great rest of the week, and we will catch up with you all soon. See you on the replay. I'll send you the slides, and bye for now.